Hey guys, today got another deck for you. This is one that I personally have not put a ton of play on. Always been one that I've been really interested in. I mostly just played against it, but this is my Oppressive Sword Trunks deck. It runs the Vengeance level 1, Awakening 2, the Evolution 3, and for me I chose the the Evolution 4. I don't think that personally really matters much, but just so you know what it does. You get a big stage model on your attacks. This one, of course, is a big toolbox. Lets you filter your hand for any styled or sword card you want. The level 2. This is the level that you actually realistically might see in game. Lets you put sword cards back in your deck. It's a physical block. It gives you crits every time you play a name card. Really, really great level. And of course, the primary level, the Sword Trunks. You go and grab a freestyle drill. Which, in my build, I actually only run the 2 aggressive sword drill. Kind of want to put it to 2, kind of maybe want to put quickness drill or acquisition drill in the deck. But for now, this is my space thing, and I'm kind of still playing it out and seeing how I like the kinks. But I did take DDA's deck and kind of modified it myself a bit. It's pretty similar, though. I think most sword trunks are going to be similar, with the exception of a few different choices. Me personally, I don't like the card, I think it's Saiyan Clap or whatever, Saiyan Whack. It rejuvenates you 3 sword cards out of your pile. I don't like that card, personally. A lot of the sword cards are banished after use, or I'm just getting them back anyway with other cards. I don't know. You might think that needs to be in here. Personally, I've never liked that card. So, up to you, really. But, let's give a quick rundown of the deck and why I made it. So, I do like the Oppressive Mastery. I do really have a hard time finding a lot of decks that work well with it, that I just don't think, I think Oppressive was a really cool mastery, but it really only synergizes well with a few MPs, and I think Trunks is one of them. Both more the angry Trunks and the Sword Trunks, but also I think Vegeta. Really, Vegeta is probably a better overall MP with it. I think Kid Trunks works really good too, but since they took the MP PV away from the Mastery, I haven't really been interested in Kid Trunks. But it's definitely another deck that you could definitely run. But I wanted to do the Sword Trunks. I think the active power on this Mastery I love, the rejuve, the stage loss. I really, really, really like this Mastery. I was rocking a Future Gohan Oppressive for a long time, trying to recapture some of that just magic that I had with Empowered, but it really didn't really compare. But I made this deck out of fun. So anyway, we'll start here with the attack line. We have 3 Trunks Sword Slash. Of course, this is a sword card. You gotta run it. It's name card. If I can just pick one out of here. There we go. It does give nice pile hate, which is great. It sucks that it costs a stage, but that's the price you pay. But with Trunks, you're putting cards back in your deck on a level 1 every time you play a sword card. And if you do get to 2, every time that you do block a physical attack, you do get to put a sword card back into your deck. So, it's nice. Next we have Trunks Knee Bash. This card is why you want to run Trunks over, say, Deborah or, say, other Beats MPs. It is a awesome card, and because it's considered sword, you do get to go grab it with your aggressive sword drill. Super, super awesome card. You can use the Slime Anchor. Biggest issue with this card is drawing it against a non-board heavy deck and knowing that you have to banish your aggressive sword drill if you want to grab it. But that's kind of how it goes sometimes. It sucks that it doesn't kill allies, but if you do get up to level 2, you do get crit when you play it, so you do kill allies still, which is great. Awesome card. Next we have Trunk Slam, another name card. Helps you get out of combat. And again, Oppressive's, I think, biggest advantage is the skipping, right? Well, once you dump your hand out, you really don't want to be in combat anymore, so having any sort of cards that end combat, like Trunk Slam making your opponent pass, running Blinding Energy move over here, which I have a Krillin Solar Flare because I can't find another one. That's kind of how I've been testing it, so bear with me here. Having cards like Shattering Blow here that can end combat, really great. I don't have Earth Ball 7 right now. A lot because I couldn't find an extra one, but also because I just didn't really know what spot to put it in. So that's something that I think is going to eventually make it in here too. But next we have Dashing Sword Attack. Really great card, great sword card, stable sword card. I don't really need to say any more than that. Saiyan Sword Strike, this card is just awesome. Really, it's the main core card that you're probably going to be grabbing and playing with when you're using combo cards, such as Dashing Sword Attack, Aggressive Sword Drill. But it is a really good card. If you are able to make your opponent pass with any sort of effect, let's say you wanted to just like whack someone really hard with after you did a slam, or if they're kind of, you draw and you enter on them and they draw dead, you know, and they have to pass. This card is amazing. Just awesome card. It does a lot of damage, and it's not banished after use. So it's, again, in its style, it's going to be the main card that you're kind of playing around with. Very solid card. Next we have the non-sword attacks. So first one we have is Saiyan Turning Kick. Now this is pretty much Saiyan Sin Choke. We don't run a ton of style drills right now. I have three unique ones, but this will allow you, should it get knocked off your deck, to go tutor any drill that you want from your pile. So even if they get knocked into your pile, including your Aggressive Sword Drill, should they get discarded if they get destroyed or something, you get to go grab them back with this drill. This attack. Really awesome. Great card. I think it's going to get more value as I probably play the deck more and maybe try to add some more drills in. But we'll see. It's kind of just mostly finding out what works best here. Still. Saiyan Spin Kick. I think this has to be at damn near 2 or 3 in every physical deck, and most Saiyan Anger decks are going to be running this to 3. This card's awesome. Does a little bit of everything. With the anger. Serves an ally. Endurance. Awesome card. Severing Punch. I think this is the best Saiyan physical in the game. One of the best physical attacks in the entire game. Not as good now that Retribution's gone. Still an amazing card. Still just destroys Black Anger. Still just destroys any Unleashed deck. Amazing card. I think you need to be running this at a 3 in every Saiyan physical deck. And honestly, I think it should still make its way in a lot of even the hybrid beats, even I'd say to an extent an Anger deck. It's so good. Next we have Saiyan Legendary Strike. Saiyan Legendary Strike, awesome card. Stupidly strong card with Broly. Still a really good card. You can play it defensively with a parenthetical to lower your opponent's anger too, which is huge. Being able to keep your opponent locked down on a level is very strong. Certain attacks, maybe you get into combat where you know that you're not going to be hitting attacks, have it as a pseudo block is really awesome. Saiyan Dive. This card I really hate, but I feel like you need it. It's feels like all the decks I want to play it in, I never have enough cards in the pile to banish for it. But such is life. You gotta run some board hate, and that's what it is. It does give you sit up and drill control, which Saiyan really doesn't have great answers to, but that's also why you have Knee Bash. So maybe it's going to be a card that gets cut eventually. Trying to organize this. So many cards on the table right now. Alright, next we have Heroic Dashing Punch. Great card. Gives you 2 anger with Mastery. Mastery whenever you skip your opponent, you get an anger. Awesome. Just being able to get some banished damage off of this card or shut off an opponent's anger. Really powerful. Shattering Blow. I hate this card. I'm not a fan of this card, but for this deck specifically, I think it's an amazing card. It's definitely a card that you need to throw in this deck. Being able to end combat on people, you need to do it, and you need all those cards, I think, in this deck. Now, as far as other decks that I've played Oppressive, I don't like this card. I think it's crappy, but in this deck, it's definitely, I think, needed. It's generally, I've only put maybe 10 games on this deck, not even. Probably like 6 or 7 games, and I haven't seen it too much, so, but it's nice to have. I have gotten a successful combat ending once on it, out of like the probably 3 or 4 times I've drawn it, so there you go. Saiyan Sword Dodge, another one of the staple sword cards that you're going to be grabbing. It does help you filter out your hand to get another sword card. Really awesome card. In certain matchups, you're going to be grabbing the Aggressive Sword Drill always with a level 1, but Aggressive Sword Drill maybe you won't have stages, so you don't want to grab things like Dashing Sword or Sword Slash, Maybe you're against a really aggro matchup or black, and you need to make sure that you don't get debursted. Sword Dodge. Great card. Great card. Sucks that it's banished after use, but it does work with your level 2 once you get there. Generally speaking, this deck doesn't necessarily always level. It's kind of more sitting on 1 a lot of time. There's not a ton of anger in here. There is some. And 2 is what you want to be on certain matchups. But, don't expect to make it to 2. Let's put it that way. Reverse Catch, Skip Effect. synergizes with Mastery. Awesome. You know, Arm Catch, it's better than Arm Catch in this deck because you're not always want to level, and also just having the flexibility that you can turn this into an Anger with Mastery. On top of, you might need the stages more for something. Just really nice card. Energy Release, kind of for the same philosophy over like an Energy Deflection, just does a lot more with his Mastery. We only got it at 2. Generally speaking, you're going to try to stage lock your opponent, and we also have 3 Outrage, so I think 2 is warranted. With that said, Saiyan Outrage, a card that I really would like to maybe try out in this deck is Saiyan Prep Ball, but I only run this card as my only styled event. Prep Ball, of course, bouncing a styled event card to your hand when you play it. It's really just here for the Omni. I don't run any attached cards. I've thought about running Rescue. It's a great card. I just don't have the space, so. But it's just nice to have the Omni. Next we have 3 Sphere. It's, you know, Confro kind of throws off your sequencing too much to run, so I think Sphere is kind of the better choice. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the philosophy I've adopted for this deck, and I've enjoyed having the 3 Sphere. Time is Warrior's Tool. You have to put that in every deck, other than, I suppose, Surprise Attack. Need I say more? I suppose before we get to the drills, we'll just finish off the last couple attacks here. We got 2 Saiyan Burst. I think this card's awesome. It's mostly in here over like a Shoulder Slam because it's styled and gives you Anger and will give you the skip, but it does suck that it costs stages. But it's huge Anger control. So, you know, that's kind of why you have to have it, I think. Also, just for the extra Anger on the card to help you level. Next we have, of course, this is supposed to be a second blending energy move, but, you know, I have like a dozen plus decks made, and I don't feel like printing out more energy moves right now. 2 blinding, again, we want to end combat, which is another reason why Ball 7 really should make it into this deck list. It's going to come with testing. I think it'll come in. But just being able to end the combat after you sequence and you skip, great. We'll start with the freestyles, I suppose. So we got 2 Aggressive Sword Drill. Maybe this should go to 3. I think this should probably go to 3, but spacing right now, it's the bread and butter of the deck with your level 1, letting you tutor out whatever sword card that you want for the situation. Great card. Probably going to make it at 3. Just, it's probably going to have to come after I cut out maybe some of these attacks. Maybe like Saiyan Dive will get a hit. Maybe Spheres, maybe Burst. I don't really know yet. It's going to be kind of, again, testing, but we'll see. I think most of the attacks are pretty much set at their numbers. They might have a couple that bump down to 2s, but those are the kind of cards like the Dive, Energy Outburst, Sphere, kind of on like the weird point. But I think you need either a Confro or a Sphere in a deck. So we'll see. 1 pregame. This card is so stupid. So stupid. I thought this card was pretty good. I started running it way back when it came out. This is pre-oppressive. I was running it in Empowered Bardock, and then I played against Timbato at Gen Con, and goddamn, like, this card is so good. And of course, Oppressive Vegeta was abusing the hell out of this card until they, you know, limited it to 1. So that's why we only have 1, but damn, is this card amazing when you do see it. Really great. Saves you. Gives you stages, which you really want with Trunks. For some of the sword cards, so really nice card. So as far as the drill line goes, we'll start with the Limit 1 drill here. Swift Sword Drill, awesome card. I think you need to have this in any Saiyan Sword Drill, Sword deck, which is pretty much only going to be Trunks, but and I suppose Adaptive Goku, Set 1 Goku can do some fun sword stuff too, but this card is awesome. It lets you double up on whatever sword card that you want, whether it be, does it have to be styled? No, actually, you can double up dashing swords with it, you can double up sword slashes with it to just destroy someone's pile, double up knee bashes for board clear, double up sword strikes for when your opponent doesn't have a block, and they've passed. You know, double unpreventable. Awesome. Super amazing card. Really great. Next we have Suppression Drill to 1. This could maybe go to a 2. People can only power up 1, and you mill your opponent every time you skip them. So it's probably looking to get to a 2. We'll see. I've enjoyed playing it when I do get it, so very good drill. Next we have 2 Showdown Drill. I do run a lot of styled attacks. you know. So styled physical attack still +2 stages, and their damage can't be directed to allies. So even if they're not styled, they can't be redirect to allies, which is awesome. Allies are going to be what's kind of holding you back when you're playing this deck, you know, when you're dealing only stage damage. Trunks doesn't do the most damage either. He's more of like a slow mid-tempo. He's not gonna go off and kill you in one turn like Deborah. So this is a really great card. I really like this card at 2, and you don't lose it when you go up. Not that that really matters because your Trunks anyway. His level 1 key protects your drills if you advance level, but definitely a card that I think should be at 2. And like I said, I think this deck definitely needs to be played a bit more. I have looked at the other lists, like I said, Didier's. I looked at like 1 or 2 other lists that I've played against, and I kind of took what I thought was like the core. There's definitely cards that are going to be getting changes. You know, I think Ball 7 should be in here. Earth Ball 7. Just where do I put it? Maybe cut Outrage. I don't know. 3rd Aggressive Sword Drill would be nice. A 2nd Suppression Drill would be nice. I don't think really any of the other Saiyan drills I really care about. Maybe Transformation would be okay to try to run, but also I think Dive could probably take a hit. That card just kind of feels like it falls flat a lot for this deck, so maybe that would turn into my 2 of my drills and my Ball 7. I don't really like that one card, like I said, the Saiyan Whack or whatever it is, or Smack, Saiyan Smack. That no, it's not Smack. I can't think of it. I know so many cards, and I've at this point. The one that rejuvenates 3 sword cards, I think that could maybe see it in, but that's just my personal preference. I've never liked that card, so. But I think this is a pretty good core of the suite of attacks you should be running. Like I said, I think Dive would be the one that I would consider not running. Otherwise, I think Severing Punch. I really think that should at least be a 2. I could see the argument for 3, depending on how much, you know, anger we still see, you know, black anger we still see, but either way, protecting and stopping things like Ball 2 and all that stuff Unleashed is so strong. Turning Kick, I think, needs to be at a 3. It's just really, it's pretty set on numbers. I could see Burst getting cut, honestly. We'll see. But otherwise, I think this is a pretty decent start. Like I said, put a handful of games on it. It's okay. I think it definitely needs work. I think it's got a lot of potential. Maybe I am building this wrong. Maybe you disagree with some of my choices. Maybe you have other choices of cards that you want to throw in. Maybe Saiyan Smack, for example, or Surprise would be cards that you throw in. I think they're definitely meta-dependent cards, but they could see a spot. Let me know down below. Well, thanks for watching, guys.